Offshore shadow money in the shadow banking system. With the liberalization and globalization of finance in the context of the Bretton Woods system demise, the monetary system as a self-referential network of expanding yet unstable debt claim disseminated further. New form of USD-denominated private credit money emerged at a lower level of the hierarchy of money, first occupying the onshore and later the offshore dollar realm. The new financial structures that would expand private money creation developed mainly in the 1970s and built up what in the 2007-2009 financial crisis became known as shadow banking system. Centered in the US but with global ramification, the shadow banking system is a web of specialized non-bank financial institutions that has developed a complex service chain for conducting the same financial function as the classical banking system, yet outside the public regulatory framework. Shadow banking is connected to financial innovation and the development of new financial instruments that have become substitutes for bank deposits and are often referred to as shadow money. While there is profound disagreement among monetary theorists as to what instrument represents shadow money and for which reason, the money view literature suggests that MMF share, overnight repos, and ABCPs are the three most relevant financial instruments created in the shadow banking system that function as shadow money. The issuing non-bank financial institution, MMF, securities dealer, and SPVs, in this regard function as shadow banks. Figure 14, based on Claessens et al., demonstrates systematically how the creation of ABCPs, overnight repo, and MMF shares take place within the shadow banking system. ABCPs, overnight repo, and MMF share are produced via two main channels of shadow banking. The repo channel, connected to collateralized lending, and the ABCP channel, operating via securitization of structured assets. MMF connect both this channel with institutional investor and, to a much lesser extent, household. Taken together, this market-based credit system conducts money market funding of capital market lending. Following the analytical perspective of Posar et al., what a classical commercial bank did on its own singular balance sheet with regard to the transformation of maturity, liquidity, risk, and size occurs in the shadow banking system on different connected balance sheets through a daisy chain of non-bank financial intermediaries in a multi-step process. MMF shares, ABCPs, and overnight repos have opened up a new layer in the domestic US hierarchy of money. They have gradually adopted properties that, despite different regulatory treatment, have made them functionally equivalent to bank deposit in a range of respects. They are high-quality short-term debt instruments created by swapping IOUs of different maturities, have been developed to directly compete with bank deposit, and came to be considered as cash by some financial market participants as they eventually adopted par clearance vis-a-vis higher-ranking money form. Okay, for this picture I have to kind of minimize the zoom so we can see the full picture here. Okay, this is figure 14. It's a shadow money creation in the stylized shadow banking system. So as you can see, it starts from the ultimate borrowers and ended up the ultimate saver, while shadow banking is in the middle, connecting the ultimate borrower with ultimate saver. Well, ultimate borrower have two channels, like I said earlier, that is repo channel and ABCP channel. They give loan to lenders or leverage investor, and from lender they give loan to SPV and give ABS to SPV, ABCP to money market fund. This area is a shadow money creating non-bank financial institution, while the leverage investor give term repos to security dealers, and both of these SPV and security dealers give overnight repos, ABCPs, and overnight repos to money market fund, while money market fund finally give MMF shares to household and institutional investor. So yeah, this one is the shadow money creation, non-bank financial institution. We call this one from ultimate borrowers to security dealer as a capital market. But this wholesale money market that's coming from SPV and security dealers give some kind of loan, like loan ABCPs and overnight repos to money market fund. Okay. Accordingly, MMF shares emerged in the 1970s as the liabilities of MMFs, whose business model was developed in response to regulatory restriction on commercial banks. In particular, the cap of interest rate paid on bank deposit due to Regulation Q. MMF pull funds from their customer, household, and institutional investor and invest them in highly liquid assets on the wholesale money market. In doing so, MMF pass on their customer fund either to SPVs using the securitization channel or to securities dealer using the collateral intermediation channel. MMF promised their customers a constant net asset value for their share, i.e. a one-to-one exchange rate vis-a-vis the hierarchically higher onshore bank deposit. Figure 15, taken from Nothing, sketched the rise in the volume of MMF share issuance from 1975 to 2012. It displays a peak in 2008 when a run emerged on MMFs following the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers and with the prime money market fund breaking the buck, i.e. not sustaining par clearance. So this is figure 15. Volumes of MMF share issue 1975 2012 in billion USD. ABCPs are high quality short-term debt instrument issued by SPV, by special purpose vehicles, or legally different but functionally equivalent structured purpose vehicle, special investment vehicle, ABCP conduit, or ABCP program. SPVs are entities typically set up by large commercial banks as sponsor, which use them as off-balance sheet institutions to circumvent capital requirement. Although not regulated as banks, SPV conduct bank-like activities as they hold medium-term or long-term debt claim as asset and finance them by issuing ABCPs as short-term debt. The rise of ABCPs as deposit substitutes in the mid-1980s was closely connected to the way they were classified by regulators, especially via favorable risk capital treatment. Before 2007, ABCP had been specifically constructed as wholesale money for cash pools and were mostly held by MMFs. The majority of ABCP issued had maturities of 1 to 4 days. This short-termness made them deposit light and allowed them to virtually trade at par. Figure 16, taken from Fitch Rating, depicts the sharp rise in ABCP issuance between 1989 and 2001. In the 2007 to 2009 crisis, ABCPs were the first shadow money form to face a run and were subsequently demonetized. Okay, this is figure 16, rise of the ABCP issuance from 1989 to 2001. ABCP outstanding in billion US dollar as of September 30 ABCP or asset-backed commercial papers. Source Federal Reserve Board. Overnight repo are privately issued financial instruments constructed around the sale and repurchase of securities. Typically, government bonds and later also securitized private debt. The repo market is run by security dealers or broker-dealers or dealer banks who act as market makers as they are willing to buy and sell repos at different prices, creating an inside and outside spread. Overnight repos, i.e. repos with the shortest possible maturity, are high-quality, highly liquid, short-term IOUs that as a result of this characteristic are subject to negligible price fluctuation, which make their value compared to higher-ranking money form very stable. While repo as a financial instrument is much older and dates back into the 19th century, it was the development of the three-party repo market in the late 1970s that made repos as easy as bank deposit due to custodian banks facilitating the transaction. Figure 17, taken from Task Force, show how repo issuance increased in the 2000s with a quantitative peak in 2008. So this one is figure 17, volumes of overnight repos issue from 2002 to 2010 in trillion of US dollar. This one is monthly average. As you can see, it's getting the peak on November, between November 2007 and May 2008, I think. Originally, the shadow banking system represented an offshore alternative to the offshore dollar market. From the 1980s onward, however, shadow money creation was increasingly shifted into the offshore dollar realm. At that time, offshore MMFs were founded with their products at first tailored toward the retail market. From the mid-1990s onward, MMF shares were issued also for institutional investors. The MMF targeted not only offshore USD investors, but also British pound and later euro investors. As no regulatory authority had been in charge of overseeing offshore MMFs, its managers could easily attain AAA rating for their product. The volume of offshore MMFs rose from $1 billion US in 1995 to $626 billion US in 2008. The ABCP issuing SPVs had predominantly been set up in offshore financial centers in the first place, in light of the opaque reporting and data situation. Haberle and Wojcik have reconstructed the shape of the ABCP market at the onset of the 2007-2009 financial crisis. They find that the vast majority of ABCP issuance occurred on the Cayman Islands, followed by Jersey and Ireland. As concerned the offshore issuance of repos as shadow money, the instrument that bears functional equivalence to a USD-denominated offshore repo contract are foreign exchange swaps, an instrument that may also be referred to as a cross-border repo. FX swaps have conventionally been referred to as a derivative, but may also be interpreted as a money market instrument, as they involve the swap of two currencies on the spot and the reversion of the transaction at a future point in time. They can be used as an alternative funding channel to establish form of interbank lending. The main institutions involved in FX swaps are typically bank and security dealer. These institutions use FX swap to convert liabilities in other currencies into the desired foreign currency for the purchase of the foreign currency asset. To an overwhelming extent, FX swaps have become used for USD funding. Using shadow money terminology, this implies that the USD-denominated short-term private credit money is created outside of the US, which is not accounted for on balance sheet due to existing accounting regulation, but effectively expand the self-referential credit money system. Figure 18 presents a suggestion for how we could think about FX swaps from a money view perspective to conceptualize them as a genuine form of USD-denominated shadow money created in the offshore dollar realm. Figure 18, this one is show FX swap as private credit money creation offshore. So we have Bank A here that have USD deposit or short-term IOU as asset, and a Euro deposit, longer-term IOU, while Bank B has Euro deposit, longer-term IOU, and USD deposit as short-term IOU. Figure 19, taken from Stanford, depicts the increasing volume of FX swap that have been issued since 1989. It indicates a massive increase that is in line with the surge of other shadow money forms. As to McGuire and von Peter, there was a massive increase in the use of FX swap by European banking system to attain USD, funded via position in Euro, British Pound, and SVR. This suggests that while conceptually FX swap can both be used to create USD and non-USD offshore, shadow money on an empirical level, they are mainly employed to expand the US dollar credit money supply on a lower level of the monetary hierarchy. During 2007-2009 financial crisis, massive strain emerged on USD-denominated FX swap, leading to a breakaway from covered interest parity. Still, as Stanford emphasized, FX swaps were virtually the only tradable funding instrument that continued to function without major impairment during the crisis. Therefore, offshore USD creation via FX swap through European banks increased massively after 2009, especially during the ensuing euro crisis when they breached their dollar funding gap by converting their euro liabilities into USD liabilities. This is figure 19, volume of FX swap issuance from 1989 to 2016 in millions of US dollar. Figure 20, following up on this historical overview on the institutional development of the shadow money sector, represents a suggestion for conceptualizing how the rise of shadow money first expanded the USD monetary hierarchy onshore before spilling over into the offshore dollar realm. The development of shadow money, purposefully driven by private profit-oriented institutions to supply alternative to the highly regulated USD onshore bank deposit, involve exploiting various regulatory loopholes. From a macroscopic system-oriented perspective, this process further transformed the setup of the IMS, fleshing out lower part in the hierarchy of the onshore and offshore USD system. This is figure 20, rise of the shadow money in the offshore dollar realm. Different is in the middle. We also have non-US commercial bank IOU, Eurodollar deposit, and non-US shadow bank IOU, offshore MF share, offshore ABCPs, and FX swap. I think the yellow line is say that it's trading par, so non-USD commercial banks IOU is par with US commercial bank IOU, while the non-US shadow bank IOU also par with US shadow bank IOUs. I will skip the box for now. Okay, so